tonight, we were slated to have Matthew Berry come on with us on Lightning Round. We did have a scheduling snafu, so we are going to be rescheduling him for a later date, hopefully sometime in the very near future. Hopefully as early as next week. So we will keep you all posted for when that show with Matthew Berry will happen. We do sincerely apologize for that mix up. But in the meantime, the three of us, myself, Andrew Cooper, and Britt Flinn, we did do a puppy draft on Underdog Fantasy. So hope you stay tuned for that. It'll be coming right after this message here. And also, if you are on Underdog Fantasy, use the promo code ALARM for a up to $100 match on your initial deposit. Again, we will have Matthew Berry on hopefully in the near future. We just had a scheduling snafu, so hope you stay tuned with us here. We'll go into a puppy draft here in a moment. Hello, everybody, and welcome into Lightning Round.
No, it's Greg Zerline.
No, oh,
I don't even know these people.
You have my solemn vow we are done at wide receiver.
Impemba said fold.
Till the next round.
This is sitting on top of my Scott Fishbowl trophy.
I have a cup for Cooper Cup, I guess.
Yeah.
Welcome into Lightning Round. I'm, of course, Kevin Tompkins. Britt Flinn has returned, her majestic return. Andrew Cooper is also here from Fantasy Alarm. We are all from Fantasy Alarm. It is National Best Friends Day, so it is only fitting that us three, the three best friends that anyone should have, are doing a puppy draft. And where are we drafting? We're going to be drafting at the 109. Britt, Coop, how we doing?
Dude, what the hell, man? So Britt is majestically here, and then I'm just also I'm also here. Like, what? Some best friend day.
You've been here.
But just and then it's just also, yeah, cool, man. Good to see you.
And Andrew Cooper.
Thanks for having me, bro.
Britt is here, and then also Andrew Cooper.
Sick, dude. Yeah, Britt majestically making an appearance, and also some dude at the bottom. I don't know. Like, they put the promo codes of my name and everything. This is, yeah, great. Good. Gonna be a good draft. Let's go.
I already called you one of my best friends, and that is not just a tagline.
Okay, all right. That's fair. All right.
You son of a bitch. Anyway, we're doing a puppy draft. Little $5 price point here. Not quite the prize pool that there is in Best Ball Mania. Of course, if you have not signed up for Underdog Fantasy yet, use promo code ALARM. They will match up to $100 of your initial deposit. So 109, I think it's let's get a little risky here.
Yeah. Hey, let me just say something for people listening. If you are on Underdog right now, I would suggest don't do Best Ball Mania now. I wrote an article on that. You can find it on Fantasy Alarm, just talking about the best times to do Best Ball Mania. And statistically speaking, you put yourself in a higher odds by doing those in August or late September. I mean, the numbers prove it both in terms of total scores and the people that finish in high percentages. This one, the puppy, what happens is they do these, they fill fairly quickly, and then they're over, and then they open new ones. So you don't have to go up against people drafting in August or September. I mean, this one's already 76% full. So, I did one just last week that when it was 30% full. So I imagine by the end of this week or next week, these are going to be closed. So you'll be drafting against only people who have the same info as you, right? So it's not like, someone gets hurt and, Nick Chubb gets hurt and then now Kareem Hunt shoots up the board and everyone that drafted this time of year is in big trouble. You don't have to worry about that. So the puppy's the one to do right now.
I love it.
Fully agree. And there will be more puppies too. There's going to be the puppy 2, the puppy 3. We are on the clock right now. Of course, like I said, let's get a little risky because Najee Harris and Cook are out there, but Travis Kelce, Devontae Adams, even CeeDee Lamb, I'm all down with. 15 seconds, your thoughts.
You guys, it's your call. I mean, I'm down for any of these guys. I do like CeeDee Lamb. So,
okay, let's do Lamb.
Wait, did you say you want to do Kelce? Do it.
Oh, we're out of time.
We're getting Lamb. That's fine because we could always, if we wanted to just stay the course on tight end, we could always go Mark Andrews. But let's get a little different texture than we typically get in these drafts.
Yeah, no, I like it, dude. I'm not worried about the Najee Harris. He came out, made the comments. I got an article coming out on this topic about him basically saying, for anyone that hasn't heard, he said, they're gonna, I'm not gonna play every snap this year. They're gonna try and limit my work. if you look into those comments, they have comments from the running back coach, Eddie Faulkner, that basically says this guy can play every play. And he says, you hate to take your best talent off the field, right? So he basically came out and said the things that we're hoping that you want them to say. Like, you want the split to be, he gets all the high leverage touches, first down, end zone, third down, and then the other guys are just ancillary pieces. I mean, we saw that type of split with a guy like DeMarco Murray, where, Joseph Randle would do the run plays and Lance Dunbar would come in for the pass plays. Even then, DeMarco Murray was the main focal point, and those guys each had 300 yards or whatever. It didn't really matter. I think that's the kind of situation you have with Najee. I'm not fading him over that information. That's what every team does, So we're on the clock here.
Yeah, we are one away. I'm looking at, bye weeks be damned. I'm not going to be drafting like my parents did and worrying about bye week Twitter. I think Debo's there. I think Lamb and Debo is a smash here.
What, dude? You're going to pass on Mixon and Swift? Great. You're going to pass on DeAndre Swift?
Yeah. The thing with Debo, now that he's reported to camp, I think that's why he fell a little bit in ADP, was because people were worried that maybe he wouldn't show up. Maybe he would hold out. So I'm all good with taking Debo. I think he's a first-round talent. We're getting in the second.
Lock him in.
Deebs. CeeDee Lamb and Debo Samuel. It's back to my roots here, I feel like.
RB. Debo RB. RBbo.
Is that like 0.25 RB? Like, are we going anchor quarter running back right now?
Yeah, I mean, you can't start him there. That's the problem. It would be nice.
It would be nice. So it should be like baseball, where if you get so many carries per game, they give you that eligibility.
Right, dude? Like, Gesicki should be eligible at wide receiver. Alan Lazard should be eligible at tight end. Like, you get a certain number of snaps in a spot and you're good to go. That's what
that would be perfect.
Normalize this.
Right?
The movement starts here on Lightning Round.
Now's the time.
Heard it here first, guys.
That's right.
All right, so let's take a quick peek at the RBs and see, if there's anybody that we do. I mean, I like Fournette. I don't see why we wouldn't like him.
Yeah.
You mean net?
5-net, dude. four Leonard fourth meal.
Yeah. No, that was silly. I think his jersey was just a little too snug. I don't think he's really gained that much weight. It was more of an optics situation that we can all laugh and make fun of, but I mean, he's going to be fine.
Somebody already asked him about it. And he's like, you lose weight during the season. So he's like, I always put on weight in the off season. And then he's like, by the time, we get going running around out here, I'm already down to my playing weight,
Dude's just holding on to water. Dude ate a lot of, went to the Cheesecake Factory. He had some pasta carbonara. So he's just holding on to some water.
Yeah. The water, it's the water at the Cheesecake Factory that gets you.
Yeah. Ask Vince Young about that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, Fournette, if we really want, we can push anchor running back. I mean, that's the thing. You can push these structures. Like, anchor running back isn't just you have to take one in the first round.
I honestly wasn't done talking Cheesecake Factory yet. What do you guys, when you go there, what do you like to get?
Cheesecake.
Oh, obviously. But I mean, yeah. But dude, so that place has like one of my, I want to hear what you guys get. Like, you're going cheesecake right now and someone's ordering it right now. So you got to throw in an order quick. Go.
I don't even know what they have.
Like, I don't even remember what's on the menu. Like, last time I was there was in Syracuse, and that was over 3 years ago. But give me some of that carrot cake cheesecake. That's that's my jam.
Now you're talking. They got everything. And it's everything is like terrible for you, like poison.
Like poison. Yeah, we don't have one up here, so I can't say that I've ever been to a Cheesecake Factory.
You mean down there? You're down from where we are. All right, we're on the clock.
All right, so there is one thing that we could be a boomer and take Nick Chubb. He also has a bye week of week 9 if we wanted to keep that theme going. Or there is Jalen Waddle, DJ Moore. There's also Darren Waller.
I really like Waller right now. Why don't we do another wide receiver? Why don't we take DJ Moore? No, Moore.
Okay.
The problem with Waddle that I worry about with Waddle is that this dude had a super low average depth of target. Do you guys know what it was?
I don't. I'm going to guess probably
4.3,
2-3 yards.
More than that. It was 7, which is outside the top 100 wide receivers. Like, when I bag on Amon-Ra St. Brown as a guy that needs 12 targets to get 90 yards. He had the exact same average depth of target to Waddle, which isn't a problem when you get targets the way Waddle did. The concern obviously now is that they have Tyreek Hill, they have Gesicki. Like, you can't pencil him in for 140 targets, right? And so if he's going to be running shallow routes like that and not quite getting as many targets, there's a little concern for a format like this where we're trying to win a tournament, not just beat a team of 12.
Right.
Do you think then that Cedric Wilson moves to the slot and they move Waddle outside, or do you think he continues with that really shallow target depth this season?
So I think that Cedric Wilson's probably going to play a fairly limited snap share because you have Gesicki who plays. If you think about what that offense is, Gesicki plays a ton of slot as it is. They have 2 regular tight ends, Shaheen and Durham Smythe. They already said they're going to use fullback Alex Ingold. Like, you can't use all those players and then also have 3 wide receivers on the field all the time. So I think that you're going to have Tyreek Hill as like a tethered split end. And sometimes, with 2 tight ends, you don't have anybody tethered. And then it's Waddle as a flanker on one side and Hill flanker on the other. But I think those guys are always going to be on the field, the 2 wide receivers, and then they just mix and match everything else. But again, like, I don't think that's kind of what they did last year. You know what I mean? Like, it was like 2 wide receivers, Gesicki, and a tight end.
We're on the clock.
Yeah, we're on the clock here. So Waller's still there. Marquise Brown, Deontay Johnson, I think are good.
Go back to what's the RB?
Let's take Brown.
We got 7 seconds.
Let's take Zeke, bro. Come on. Throw me a bone here. What about, and Britt, you like Zeke? We can easily get the 2 votes on this one.
I'm fully committed into 0 RB at this point.
No, now we have our hero RB.
Yeah,
Zeke.
and we can piece together RB too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want Waller. I just don't want him. Like, that situation, man, like, when you start making you hear a lot of arguments for, obviously, Devontae Adams, you don't have to make arguments for him. And then I hear arguments for Hunter Renfrow, and I look at the route running of Hunter Renfrow, and I could see him getting some targets. I don't like him at his ADP, but like, I don't see why all of a sudden now this is a 2-pronged beast of Adams and Waller. Like, Hunter Renfrow still will eat his targets. I think that it kind of puts, like, the whole beauty of Waller was every once in a while he gets 17 targets. And I don't think that those days are probably over, so a little concerning there. And the crazier is nobody asked me what I would get at Cheesecake Factory, which
what would you
apparently is the theme to just shrug Andrew Cooper off to the side.
I'm just honestly not having that great a best friends day so far, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you that I don't feel like I'm being treated like a best friend as of now so far.
We gave you Zeke.
I mean, Britt's also a big Cowboys fan, and she, has Zeke as like a flag plant. I mean, I don't know if that's necessarily just for me. I feel like I'm getting tossed in with a lot of Brit stuff here, but there's not really a lot of straight Coop stuff going on.
True, and yeah, that's pretty true. That's true.
It's like having your birthday and Christmas on the same day. You just kind of combine the holidays.
Exactly, dude. Except it's a year or 2 birthdays, and I'm just kind of like there, and you're getting cake, and I'm like, dude, you drafted a bunch of wide receivers before we even got cake.
Damn it, Gabriel Davis went off. I was gonna try to bang the drum for him,
dude. This is like that would be great.
Yeah, I can hear that sarcasm in your voice, by the way.
Yeah. Okay, so what do we like here on the board? Let's start throwing some stars on some guys just in case. Like, throw a star on Bateman. We like Bateman. Yeah, you knew where that was going. I kind of like Amari. I don't love him, but
does that change with Watson's potential suspension though?
He was always potentially getting suspended. Amari Cooper with Jacoby Brissett is probably still a pretty good wide receiver, man.
Yeah. Oh, well, there goes
Bateman just went. Like, that's a situation where I draft Amari, is when someone takes Bateman, the guy I really want.
What are your thoughts on either like Godwin or Juju here?
Pull the QBs up real quick just to see. The QBs. I like Juju.
Sorry.
I like Juju if we're gonna go wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. You guys make the call.
Yeah, I got him up there. If
I don't know those quarterbacks. I mean, Hurts is the one with the upside, but I like the Juju pick. I'd like the Juju pick.
I was just say I got a second screen up, so even if it's not in the queue here, I've got it here.
Yeah. I think I don't know. We could go Hurts next because I feel like as far as that rushing upside, like he had as many weeks in the QB1 category as Mahomes, Herbert, Allen, and Tom Brady last year, and he played 2 fewer games than they did. Like, I think he's going to get a little bit of touchdown regression on the ground, but then you factor in getting AJ Brown, and he's going to more than make up for it through the air. So I really like Hurts as a primo guy this year.
I like it too. I think that there's a bit of a tier break here, to be honest, because I like, of the next group, I like Dak, but Dak doesn't have the rushing upside that Hurts does. And I mean, they gave him everything that he needs to succeed, right? They convinced the linemen to come back, right? Those guys were on the fence. Jason Kelsey, Lane Johnson, they're both coming back. Brandon Brooks is retired, but he didn't even play last year. You know what I mean? So It's not like that situation is drastically changed. And they went out and traded for AJ Brown. I mean, like in terms of like what you want for your quarterback, it doesn't get better than them going out and not just using the first round pick on a player, but going out and trading for the best available guy and paying him $100 million. Like,
So you want Hurts here?
Yeah.
Yep.
And I think we should try it if we're able to grab Devonta Smith on the way back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He should be there, you would think.
Or even Goddard.
I'd be okay.
I mean, Goddard will be the next if we miss out.
I don't love Goddard for redraft leagues where you have to pick your tight end every week, but for best ball, where it's just kind of, you're building a collective of guys that you hope can get you there. Like Goddard can be that guy where he's going to get a couple targets. He's either going to score or he's not, right? And then later, that lets us take guys later that are much riskier when you have a Goddard versus what we typically do in these drafts, which is get into no man's land and just scramble. So,
and it opens the door for us to take Evan Ingram at tight end 24 later on in the draft.
That door is always wide open, folks.
If we really wanted to go the backdoor stack, round 18, JJ Arcega-Whiteside.
Yeah, let's take a peek. Get Jaws in there. That's me not listening. I have a picture of Chicken Marsala on my other screen. Not even football. That's what I get at. Cheesecake Factory. Yeah, I have 2 screens. One is a giant picture of Chicken Marsala, and the other is over here. So that's why when you say JJ Arcega-Whiteside, I'm like, yeah, absolutely, yeah, sure. Pull up the RBs. We got to make sure these aren't getting too away from us. I know we're doing a former hero, a washed up hero RB, or what is it, like a retired superhero?
Clip it.
Retired superhero RB. Where he comes out of retirement for one last mission, and he just wins us the league because he's awesome.
He is Jake Taylor in Major League 2.
That was Zeke last year was RB7, and the dude that came in second in Best Ball Mania, which this year wins you $1 million, had Zeke in his lineup every week, dude. Zeke was like that dude that was like, and I was one day before retirement, and they pulled me back in.
Yep.
Devonta Smith did go, by the way. So
okay, right. And we just know, not like in the RB, Elijah Mitchell. I mean, this is the format for that kind of guy.
Elijah Mitchell's fine. I don't mind him. I'm kind of out on CH.
Miles Sanders, yeah.
Miles Sanders, I'm fine with. I'm fine with Ken Walker too.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Walker.
Okay, let's take friggin' Goddard then, and we'll if there's someone is there on the way back, we'll take one of those guys, and if not, then we'll just go from there.
I think we can wait on Goddard one more cycle on the way back into the 8th.
Mm-hmm.
Because we've got that short time. Too. So I think we can wait on Goddard. We would still get him ahead of ADP, but that would at least complete the stack, and that's not super egregious. So
puppy draft.
The only thing is Mitchell's also by week 9 too. And
with Zeke.
That's the only thing. I mean, it doesn't matter to a certain point, and then he just went. So that helps.
All right, Luke, who do you want?
I'm even really fine with Miles Sanders.
We got to ask
I'm fine with Sanders or Walker.
Sanders. Let's do Walker because we already do. I have so much Sanders.
We'll get a little different exposure.
Yeah.
Not Pollard.
Say hi, Brett.
Hi, Luffy.
Luke. All right.
We got to have a mascot when we're doing a puppy.
You got to have a puppy for the puppy draft.
And I'm pretty sure, didn't we hear early on this week that Walker's probably going to get a more featured role sooner rather than later, just because of Rashad Penny's already dealing with hamstring issues, like Carson's still dealing with the neck. Like, I think that Walker could burst onto the scene, honestly, faster than Breece Hall this season. But
and is this a team that really wants to put their fate in the hands of either Drew Lock or Geno Smith as well? Like, what they've done in the offseason, trading Russell Wilson away, drafting Kenneth Walker with a day 2 pick, that just screams we want to run the ball more. Pete Carroll is chopping away at his fruit stripe gum, put a new piece in every 5 seconds, just wanting to establish the shit out of running the ball.
Mm-hmm. I mean, dude, how weird is it that they didn't pick up Penny's 5th-year option, but then signed him again? Like, how often? I feel like that never happens because it's kind of insulting.
Very rare.
Yeah. Super weird. But I guess you do have to pick up the option in June, right? The year before. So he proved that he, deserves to be on the team. But I mean, still, super weird situation.
Yeah. I mean, this one that reeks of
strategery.
Like, he didn't want to test the free agent market after having a good year. I mean, they did pay him $5.75 million. That's not nothing.
Yeah.
We in for Goddard?
Yep.
All right.
Book it.
I like the squad. This is a good squad.
Yeah, I'm really liking it so far too.
I think it's wide receiver time.
Goddard pick is whack. You buying the Lazard hype, Kev? Why don't you give us your little stump speech on your man Lazard there?
Yeah, so Alan Lazard, I mean, the dude has never earned targets in his life. Like, we're talking since 2019. I mean, the dude, I believe, has had 8 or more targets 3 times in his entire career. And usually when you subtract the top target earner, you just don't, it's not a 1-for-1 replacement. Like, Alan Lazard's not going to come in and get 150 targets. Like, the best case scenario for this team is that targets get spread out so evenly and such a flat distribution. Like, there are one of like 7 or 8 guys that could lead this team in targets this year. And that's not even that big of a stretch when you're talking Watson, Lazard, Aaron Jones, AJ Dillon, Robert Tonyan, guys like that, Romeo Dubs, so am I going to put my chips in for probably the highest ADP pass catcher, not Aaron Jones? Probably not. And I don't think I'm even in on Watson at this price too.
Mm-hmm. And they have new offensive coordinator. And even Luke Getsy's gone. It's like, we don't really know what the situation is going to be like there. That's the concern for me. Cause we've seen this a bunch of times where it's like, there's big changes and guys coming in, and like with the Panthers, we thought DJ Moore was going like wide receiver 12, and the Robbie Anderson and Curtis Samuel were going wide receivers legit 64 and 65. And then they all got the same number of targets or touches. It's like when it's uncertain like that, like Kev said, I'm hesitant to buy the most expensive option.
Right. That's why I'm taking all my dart throws. I mean, I didn't even mention Sammy Watkins. Like, Sammy Watkins is, even though he thinks he's a legitimate alien, he could still lead this team in targets.
Yeah, I mean, they just said that. So the quote from the coach, Sammy Watkins is going to be a big part of this offense, literally today.
Yeah, and that's another thing too. We're not getting a lot of clarity from the coaching staff. Like, yesterday, it was the talk about Lazard. Today, it was the talk about Watkins. Like, who knows what tomorrow's going to be, Cobb or Watson. They just keep throwing these little tidbits out there without providing any real clarity on the situation. And it's early enough that, I don't know, in this level, in this round, I don't really want a dart throw.
In this economy.
No, not in this economy.
In this underdog economy. You know what? I think Marquez Valdes-Scantling, you can clip this too. I think he's going too low.
Really?
At 904. I think that, I mean, say what you want about Marquez Valdes-Scantling. I mean, I don't think he's going to be earning targets, but I think the quality of target, and I think it's going to be a little bit more pass heavy certainly than Green Bay is. I think he's got a real shot to, I don't know if he's going to be right up with Juju Smith-Schuster in terms of volume, but I mean, I don't like to play a touchdown game, but I still think that that MVS can still at least increase his opportunity in this offense. It's pretty barren outside of Kelsey. I mean, if you want to talk about your, Justin Ross and all these other guys, but I'm willing to, at least if we're playing the dart throw game, I'm willing to throw a dart at MVS in the 9th, maybe even the 10th if he gets.
Out of this group of wide receivers here, you know who I like? I like Rob. Why don't we like Robert Woods, man? Like
the ACL.
He's already out there. He's already out running, man. He's already been back at non-mandatory practices running. This isn't like Michael Gallup where Jerry Jones came out and said we don't expect him back for week 1. Like Robert Woods is playing football already. Playing more football than Traylon Asma Burks. Britt.
Well, my deal is that I think if Burks is going to be the number 1 wide receiver, which we don't really know who's the number 1 is on this team, there's still been talk about, the low passing volume that this team does and how much Derrick Henry's going to run. And if they don't throw the ball as much as they should, then it's going to be hard for either of them to be like super fantasy relevant. But I don't know. I'm fine with Woods.
Woods is awesome.
I'm
watching him run routes right now. Video from this morning. Looks great. Looks phenomenal.
Oh, those beat writer puff pieces and puff videos.
Dude, he's making these cones look stupid.
They were cones.
They got him this. I've never seen this drill before that they're doing. They have this thing out there that's like those like clothes racks where you like hang your clothes on them. They're on like the wheels. They got those out there and they're making them, but like this long thing of it, they're making them run out of it to stay low out of the gate and then break. So they have to run under this thing while they're out there.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Had they hit the guys with the little the pads, the handheld pads yet? I watched the gauntlet of those and then just do an in cut.
Dude, I actually watched Najee Harris. So the running backs were doing that for the Steelers, and the first dude hit Najee with it, and he barely hit him. So Najee went over and took the thing from him, and he was just blasting all the backup running backs with it because he didn't think the dude was hitting them hard enough with the pad.
Was it J.K. Dobbins that ran over the dude?
Yeah.
Who was it?
He completely bodied his trainer, like lifted him off the ground. That was amazing.
If you're a trainer, that gets you fired up.
We're back up here. I still think we're in wide receiver mode at least a little bit because we had the onesie position still. We got 2 running backs. I'll look at them. I mean, Chase Edmonds, Stevenson. I think we should still at least take another wide receiver and then we can look at the other positions. But I mean, even Kenny Golladay.
That's who I like. That's who I like, dude. I was gonna say let's all say it at the same time. Kenny Golladay.
You'll never catch me saying Kenny Golladay.
Why, dude?
Happily have 0 exposure.
How many dudes on that screen have had 1,000-yard season? I guess Tyler Boyd and Michael Gallup have. Juice. I don't mind Jarvis Landry there.
But no, I don't either. I like him and like Jacoby Myers were both like in lockstep in that same ADP, and those were like just smashes there. Those 2 guys I was taking like all the time in the puppy ones I was doing.
How many guys left have had a season with 1,100 yards and 11 touchdowns? Britt, I'll ask you.
I don't know.
Pretty easy to just guess. 0. Unless Devontae Parker had that one massive season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Boyd, I think in like 2018 got the yards, but not the touchdowns.
Parker had 1,209, so not as good at Kenny.
You have to think about it like Golladay has Stafford, now he has Daniel Jones.
Jones, the Giants. So do you take Kenny Golladay, the bet you're making there? The Giants have been dead last in offensive touchdowns 2 years in a row, which is crazy, right? They were tied with the Jets 1 year, and then they were last the year after that. So the bet you're making is that they're not dead last again. Which they might.
Brian Daboll improves, Daniel Jones improves to where they're a functioning modern offense, or at least more modern than they were with Jason Garrett.
Right. And I'm pretty sure they have the easiest strength of schedule too, so that does help.
Get the wide receivers off the screen, please. Get them off. Do we have one quarterback, right?
We have one quarterback.
Where are we at in this? Because we gotta get at least 2. I'm fine waiting a little longer.
Yeah, me too. Because I mean, we can always backfill the stack. We know who we're looking at.
Are we up to that Komet Henry range for tight end?
Hold on. Not quite. I think we're almost there.
No, we got time, man. We got time.
Yeah, 154.
Let's take a running back, please. Like, it's getting weird.
I like Ramondre.
Jumanji Stevenson.
I like her. Okay, then
Oh,
I'll just say guys, and he'll get taken.
This isn't even a live stream, so we can't blame it on the spies.
I mean, I like Madison on just the I think he'll still find his way, even if Dalvin Cook doesn't get suspended, which is still kind of up in the air. I don't mind Ronald Jones. Is if you're taking a bet on the Chiefs running back situation, you want to take the cheaper one out of him and CEH. Rashad White, I like Spiller too.
You don't like Dameon Pierce potentially being the starter? It's a possibility.
I'm sold on Pierce.
It's entirely possible. We need a mix.
I would rather take Rex Burkhead than Dameon Pierce.
We need a mix of upside and floor moving forward. Like, we can't just only pick upside because
you got your floor with Zeke, you got your upside with Walker.
That's what I mean. Like, we need at least another guy that can fill in, like, you know what I mean? Like, at some point, even if it's later, like a James White or a JD McKissick, somebody that can catch a couple passes and not put a 0 in our lineup. You know what I mean? Like, so we don't have to do it now, but I'm saying at some point we're going to have to take somebody that actually plays, so Alexander Madison's kind of a tough look right now, even though he already went.
What are you thinking? What are your thoughts on Rashad White? Because I think he's good for a role. I think Gio's going to get cut because I think Rashad White can do a lot more than Gio Bernard, and I think that's a role that he can get into right away in Tampa.
Yeah. That's the question. The thing is, it's like we don't know what Pierce's role is. We don't know what White's role is. But it's not like White is ever going to be the starting running back strict over Fournette. Whereas with Pierce, it's entirely possible.
Yep. There's a lot of dust in that running.
Why don't you like Pierce? Because you said you take Rex Burkhead over Pierce. Why don't you like him, Kev?
I just don't. I mean, like you said, there's ambiguity there. And then if I'm going to be able to take a running back out of that backfield, which I don't think is going to be very fruitful for scoring fantasy points, and I don't know if he's going to be able to catch passes the way that Rex Burkhead has at least established that he could do and is still moderately relevant. I would rather take him in the last round than take a 11th, 12th round pick at a guy like Dameon Pierce, where there's so much up in the air with him, and running back 40 is still pretty pricey for a guy that has that many questions.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, all these guys down here, there's no more guys that could potentially be
right.
Any sort of there's no guys left that could go out there on first down. Right. Maybe Michael Carter. I don't know. Like
maybe Spiller potentially. I mean, I don't know. But we got 12 seconds, so let's.
My vote's for Pierce.
Agreed.
All right, we'll go Pierce. I don't have any Pierce, so I think we talked about this pre-show too. That I have no Pierce, so. There you go. I don't have Zeke either. And here we go. Look at that.
There you go, man. Exciting times.
These drafts are perfect for exposures.
Yeah, I don't have.
Just play around.
I don't have any Debo.
No Debo? I didn't. That was my first Robert Woods share, too. I'll just say that, too. I have a couple Galladay, though. I sprinkled them in.
Yeah, I got some Galladay.
All right. So we're going to be up here in the next pick or two. Let me look at quarterbacks. Probably wait another round.
I like any of those four that are like out of those four at the top. Give me any one of them. You know what I mean? Like I'm not even particular on which one, but I kind of like them over the next group after that. Matt Ryan's kind of interesting in the sense that like people keep making the argument that they're going to run too much. To which I say, the 2016 Falcons were a top 5 running team and they had 2 running backs that were fantasy relevant. Like Devonta Freeman was an RB1 and Tevin Coleman was like RB like 13 or 14, right? Top 5 in rushing as a team. And Matt Ryan was QB2 and MVP of the league. So do you try and tell me that this team's going to run too much for this dude? The team's going to be too good at football for Matt Ryan to be better than, what is he? QB 21. Silly. Yeah. You know what I mean? So,
with this build, I mean, I'm looking at Daniel Jones. Honestly, at least we could stack it with Galladay, and I can always take our pick of whoever's left in the next pick.
I'm not as worried about stacking. Get out of QB. I'm not worried about stacking as much as like I'm not going to take bad players just for a stack. Like I think Daniel Jones blows. Take Cole Kmet.
Yep, I'm okay with that. Targets are almost guaranteed and all but guaranteed, I guess.
Right. And now we don't have to worry about tight end. We just wait. Evan Ingram's not even on the screen yet, bro. That's why he's such an easy pick to make. So now we don't have to worry about tight end anymore. We need to get at least 4 total running backs based on historical evidence.
Mhm.
I think with this, we could probably stretch it to 2 if there's 2 we like.
What do you mean?
Running backs, 2 more running backs to go up to
Oh,
5.
yeah. I'm saying
Yeah.
we need minimum 4. Like when you wait on running back this much, I like to draft more. Like I like to draft, like if I wait on running back like crazy like this, I like to draft like 6 of them.
Yeah.
You know?
Sprinkle out your hit rate makes it a little easier.
Yeah.
We got to draft some guys with maybe some faces. We have one running back that has a face on the screen. That's scary times,
Yes.
but
There's
I
still
think-
options. There's still some pulses here.
so Kenneth Gainwell's interesting in the sense that he did have more receptions, even during the stretch when they were both healthy. Miles Sanders got hurt, but even if you just take the games where they both played together, Kenneth Gainwell during those games had more receptions than Miles Sanders as a rookie.
And I'm really partial to Darrell Williams too, if you want to talk about like pass catching running backs, because he had quietly had a really good season last year, and it was all from pass catching. And James Conner, you saw last year when Chase Edmonds was healthy, Edmonds was the pass catching back. So I don't see any reason why Williams wouldn't slot in that immediate role. They drafted Keontae Ingram, but he's a rookie. Who knows like what they're going to do with him. And then you've got Eno Benjamin, who's like a non-factor. So
Right.
I've been eyeing Williams a bunch in this tier.
Oh, and also
I think. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I definitely like Ty Davis Price personally.
Yep, I do too. Like he is one of my favorite contingent value running backs, like that you can get later. And then one guy that kind of falls through the cracks. I mean, everybody wants to talk about how much Christian McCaffrey wants to get injured, but Deontay Foreman, who showed out in Tennessee and now is going to be that second back behind McCaffrey if something does happen to him. I mean, Carolina is not that great of a team, but I think he could probably stumble his way into 15 to 18 opportunities per game if, CMC's out for a stretch.
Yeah, there's an interesting group in that sense where it's like there are players that we don't think they're particularly good, and then there are players that are good, but we're worried about the opportunity. Like I've seen James Robinson be good. I've seen Khalil Herbert play really well, and then obviously Foreman falls into that same category, right? Where you could see it. There are some guys where as handcuff, like I don't know, Darrell Henderson doesn't really do it for. He doesn't really move the needle for me. I'm glad he just went.
Yep. And he's already dealing with a soft tissue injury, and we've seen durability issues out of him throughout his career. So, I mean,
right.
He's just checking another box in the negative column.
Even with the injury to Swift, Jamal Williams, like he doesn't light the world on fire, and they have all those other weird backs on that team that are kind of good. You know what I mean? Like Godwin, Iqui, whatever his name is. And who's the other one? Craig
Reynolds.
Craig Reynolds. Yeah. So it's like they got a bunch of dudes where it's not just going to be one guy there. Whereas like Khalil Herbert, man, he was the guy when David Montgomery got hurt. So
yeah,
I'm on board with doing handcuff play at some point, but I like Davis Price here. If he's moving up that ladder.
Yeah. I'm trying to just seeing where we're at wide receiver too. And then quarterback too.
I like Chark, Jameis, bro. I would like to get Jameis or Matt Ryan if we could.
Not feeling Daniel Jones if we even push it a little further.
I mean, I think Daniel Jones is pretty bad. I think he's actually really bad. So if we're doing it just to stack the touchdowns with Golladay, of which last year there were 0 in 14 games, I don't know. I don't know if I love that idea. Like I think Daniel Jones sucks. To be completely fair, to be honest with you, you know what I mean? Like maybe he's just, for 4 years now, the last 2 years he's had more turnovers than touchdown passes. Those guys that needs like 10 years. Maybe he's the next Steve Young, and at 30 years old he'll actually be good.
You want to sneak in Jameis Winston and get our quarterback set?
Yeah.
And that's you got your correlation too, Philly, New Orleans. So there you go.
Yep, I do like that. And I think I'm not buying this hype or this talk around like he has a noticeable limp and things like that. Like you still have 3 months until the season starts. He's got proven production in his resume, and now he has a ton of weapons. So I think he's going to shoot up the boards as far as where he actually ends up in production this year.
Yeah, I'm looking at the board right now, and I think we got to target one of Gainwell, TDP, or the mentor, Daryl Williams.
TDP, dude. I was on a podcast with Jax Falcone, and he's been calling him the serial killer. And I was like, why, dude? He's like, all serial killers have 3 names, bro. I was like, you're kind of right about that, man.
Yeah.
That is true.
He's a fun dude. We were in the Scott Fishbowl division together. The REM division with Mike Mills of REM. That was definitely a fun division last year.
Yeah, Scott's great, man. He's got a lot to say. Me and him both, we both have a lot to say. So the podcast we recorded, it's available on his page. We talked for over 2 hours. Over 2 hours. It was ridiculous. We talked for over 2 hours, and you know how I do it. We talked about 4 players.
Cole Kmet for a half an hour. Evan England for 45.
Gabe Davis
played a chicken marsala.
Yeah.
So we have our choice of these guys now. Like of these 3.
TDP, bro. You down with TDP?
Yeah, you know me.
They already said that, they said, which you like to hear this for him getting playing time to start. The coach comes out and says he gives us an element that we don't have, right? Mm-hmm. Like talking about his power running. And I'm like, geez, dude, Trace Herman in the incinerator. Like, yeah, good Lord, because like Elijah Mitchell, obviously he's like the new Mostert where, he's elusive, injury prone. He got hurt 3 different times last year. You know what I mean? He's elusive. He's that guy, to be the power back in an offense that has Trent Williams, man, pretty good spot to be.
And it's really kind of refreshing to see a team kind of say that and kind of throw, because there's one thing that teams do not want to do is admit they were wrong. So, I mean, drafting a running back that was day 3, but still, I mean, Trey Sermon is like, what's lower than dust?
Yeah.
Ash.
He's in magma. Oh. He's down in the molten. He's in the Earth's crust. But the other thing I think about with like the draft psychology is like they took 2 running backs in the prior draft, and then this year they took a running back in the 3rd round. So what kind of a grade did they have to have on this guy for them to not only be like, because sometimes if you with positions that aren't positions of need, you're like, oh, we'll wait and maybe take this guy or whatever. For them, they're like, they went out and got him in the 3rd. They could have had a 2nd round grade on this guy to take him there. Yeah. It's like the opposite of like Amon-Ra St. Brown. I always bring it up because the Lions had 4 picks before that, right? And they had a pick in the 3rd round, and they had a compensatory pick after the 3rd round before the 4th round, and they didn't take him with either of those. Like, how much could they really have loved this guy? Unless, there was just a million guys they loved and, they got them all. You know what I mean? Like, it's just really not how it goes a lot of times. It's more like you trade up to get your guy. The Bears didn't have a 1st or 2nd round pick. They traded up to take David Montgomery. That's what you want to see. You don't want to see these situations where it's like, oh, he just kind of, we finally decided to pull the trigger on him after we took like 6 other guys,
Right. Yeah. There's a team out there with 2 quarterbacks and 7 running backs and 2 wide receivers, 3 tight ends. That is not how you do structure, ladies and gentlemen.
Weird.
I want to say it looks like he's been auto drafting the whole time because he's been using pretty much the clock or all the.
Yeah, but even then, it kind of balances out your positions, though. If you don't set it to do that, like it'll still at least balance out.
Yeah, you would think.
But,
bro, can I real quick share a crazy stat with you guys?
Yeah.
In 2003, Jamal Lewis ran for over 2,000 yards, right? He wasn't the RB1 in fantasy that year, and he also wasn't the RB2 either. That's how crazy. That's how crazy.
Was that an LT year? And
LT was one of them. LT was RB2.
Jamal Charles?
Nope. Before Jamal Charles. But it was. Oh, actually, that's it. I gave it away there. Yeah. So Priest Holmes scored 27 touchdowns, dude.
That's insane.
Yeah. So the top 3 running backs had 27 touchdowns, and then LT doing what he does, which is, catch 100 balls and have like 20 touchdowns. And then this dude had 2,000 yards and he was the RB3.
That's crazy.
So we might. Oh, sorry. Go.
I was going to say the guy that had the second most yards for last year was Nick Chubb. He had 1,250. It's like how crazy the league, how different the league is,
Yeah, exactly. Like gone are the days of those just absolutely wear them out running backs. Like Sean Alexander, as soon as he got hurt, he was like done.
Bro, Sean Alexander that year was like the RB 14 and he had like 1,300 yards and 14 touchdowns. Like he was awesome. And he was still, everyone was awesome.
Yep. All right, we're back up. We still have, like, if we want to go RB5 and be done, we still got Darrell Williams. We got McKissick out there.
Y'all know I love Williams.
Yeah, I'm down for it. Let's do it. Let's do a Brit pick here.
The mentor, Darrell
guys.
Williams.
Let's get the wide receivers back up. Is DJ Chark go? He must have gone.
Yeah, but there's still dudes. Like, I will still draft Julio Jones. Like, that dude's ADP is going to shoot up wherever he lands.
Kendrick Bourne came out and says he loves the new offense and he's getting carries every day in practice. Like, he was the best wide receiver on the team last year. Like, from just when you watch those games, he was the best player. Jacoby Myers was the best fantasy wide receiver, but Kendrick Bourne was playing the best.
Yeah, that guy put me into the Scott Fishbowl playoffs, by the way, Kendrick Bourne.
Yep, man. He was a waiver wire darling.
He also seems like a lot of fun. You know what I mean? Like you watch him before the game, he's like got all secret handshakes with everybody, so moves him up a little bit.
Yeah, he's Let's just add a secret handshake narrative.
I mean, there are some guys in like Dynasty that you don't want them because they're weird. Like I remember they traded that dude Brandon Lloyd. He got traded because they were like they're like this guy's weird. He's a weird dude, and we just don't want him here. So I mean, there's narrative to it.
I'm down with taking Bourne here.
You want Bourne? You want Julio?
I kind of like Bourne. I think Julio's dust.
Frit wants that handshake juice. Let's go. Get him in there.
Oh, my Lord.
All right. Is Engram coming up soon? We're probably getting there, man.
He gone.
What the hell, dude? When did that happen?
Somebody's been listening to your pods.
Oh, look at that.
There we go.
Well, we were taking like Darrell Williams or something, you loser.
Oh man.
What did Darrell Williams get paid? Like $1 million?
What did James Conner get paid? Like $1 million?
Yeah. James Conner. No, last year he got paid $1 million. He earned more money this year.
He did.
What did Evan Ingram get paid?
I don't know. You're the publicist.
$9 million guaranteed.
Ooh.
But
Darrell Williams, Jags were kind of just like tossing out checks in free agency too.
They didn't throw Darrell Williams nothing. I don't know. I don't like us missing on that. Now do we take another tight end? We can't just go with Goddard and commit. You go with 2 tight ends if you have like Kelsey, not if you have Dallas Goddard. We're gonna pull the tight ends back up. Austin Hooper or Brevin Jordan. One of those two.
I was gonna say Brevin Jordan's been on my radar big time.
Why can't Austin Hooper be good?
I mean, he can.
See?
He should be. Again, it's just that passing volume of Tennessee that we're worried about. But at this point in the game, like, who cares?
You already have Robert Woods. We're already making a bet that's going to be at least. I mean, it's probably going to be very concentrated. I would say that.
Yeah, I could do Brevin too. Brevin looked good, and it's like obviously Cooks is the dude, but like Nico. I like Mechie. Nico too. Mechie, it's like jury's out on those guys. You don't really know.
Right. Yeah. Why can't Brevin Jordan be the second target on this offense?
See what I'm saying?
And when he played last year, he did really well. I mean, he put up points and he put up touchdowns.
So. Jordan Akins is in New York now too. So
yep.
That's my problem with Hayden Hurst and a guy like Hayden Hurst upside. Like if somebody gets hurt, Hayden Hurst doesn't even if somebody gets hurt, he's probably not even the second target on that team. You know what I mean? Like
doesn't even get a blip on the radar.
Right. He needs T. Higgins specifically to get hurt. Like that's what Uzoma was playing more snaps during the 1 or 2 games that Higgins didn't play, and he got a little bit more run there. That like the Baltimore game where he had the 2 touchdowns or whatever. Like that's because they needed a bit. They didn't really have another big body to go play out wide. Like he specifically needs one player to get hurt, and even then he might not be a top 2 target because they have Jamar Chase and Tyler Boyd. It's just like such a low upside proposition to me. In best ball, I know you only care about touchdowns or whatever, but in a regular redraft league, dude, Hayden Hurst missed me with that noise. He seems like a nice guy though.
Yeah.
He is. I mean, we're going to be on the Hayden Hurst mental health podathon in a couple weeks here. So a few weeks, I should say, mid-July.
Make sure to ask me about Hayden Hurst when we get on that podcast so that I can say all that. That'll be real nice.
Do we want to go Brevin Jordan here and then round it out with a wide receiver?
Yeah.
Yep, I'm cool with that.
All right. Julio's still out there. He won't make it back, though.
I kind of like Duvernay.
Take Justin Ross, bro.
Do it. Visca?
No,
Maybe.
never.
I mean, yeah, man. He kind of.
Quez Watkins?
Nah.
He had a little bit of upside.
Tyquan Thornton, bro. Fastest man alive.
I've taken him in the last round.
Me too. Me too, dude. This is the one format. I mean, it's like obviously the problem with him in Dynasty, which kills, everyone hates field stretchers already, and they hate the low volume passing offense of New England, but I don't know.
Why not Josh Reynolds? I don't know. I'm trying to think of dudes that people aren't typically going to take in the last round that at least have a bit of upside still. Quez Watkins fits that bill. So does Reynolds. I mean,
that's
Tyler
why I like
Wallace.
Duvernay.
Yeah, Duvernay fits in there too.
Yeah, I like him just because.
Sterling Shepard.
Yeah, you want to take 2 receivers?
No.
No.
but he's oddly they say he's already like back out there running around. Shepard. I watched him doing like this short passing drill with Saquon Barkley where you stand next to each other and they throw the ball in between you and you try and get it before the other guy. Dude, Barkley was catching them all. And then he ended it by catching one-handed and flipping it to Shepard. I was like, dude, you just got absolutely gooned. And you're supposed to be the wide receiver. So I don't know. I always liked Shepard though. Like, if he didn't tear his Achilles, he'd be going a lot higher, I feel.
I'm doom scrolling these wide receivers right now.
Who the hell is Charleston Rambo?
He played for University of Miami, Florida. He's a rookie.
What a name, dude. Move him up.
I know. It's the best.
Dude, I think Duve's the pick.
Yep, I agree.
Duve it.
Yeah, so for you audio listeners out there, we did not neglect you. We got a lot of guys that don't have faces, but we will put some names with these faces here. Jalen Hurts and Jameis Winston at quarterback for us. Actually, you know what? Let me do it round by round because we're going to lose the feed in a second because of Underdog. Let me find it. All right, so first round, CeeDee Lamb at 109, and then Deebo Samuel, DJ Moore, 3 wide receivers in the first 3 rounds. Zeke Elliott as our first running back in the 4th. Juju Smith-Schuster, Jalen Hurts as our quarterback. Kenneth Walker as our RB2. Dallas Goedert, Robert Woods, Kenny Golladay, Damian Pierce of the Houston Texans, Cole Kmet, Jameis Winston as their second quarterback, Tyrion Davis-Price, Darrell Williams, a.k.a. the mentor at the 15th round, Kendrick Bourne, Brevin Jordan, and Devin Duvernay. That is our roster for this puppy that will be winning $75,000. Now we got to figure out how we want to split it up. We're probably going to get about, 18,000 each.
Yeah, after taxes. Sounds good to me.
Pretty reasonable.
Yeah, it's a Kia.
I'm spending it now.
What on the flight you just booked?
Birds
to
and hands.
Yeah, I can book even more flights, dude. Yeah, Canton flight, baby. Let's go. All right.
Yeah.
Is that let's do some sponsor stuff. Everybody out there, make sure hit me up on Twitter at Coupe Fiasco. Let me know what your favorite dish at the Cheesecake Factory is. That's then we're not actually sponsored by them, but Cheesecake Factory, if you're listening, clearly big fans, definitely willing to work something out, so hit us up. Also, if you want to do an underdog draft like this one, use promo code Alarm on there. They'll match up to $100 with your first deposit in bonus credits. It's the best deal out there. I do this instead of mock drafts. Like, we do this to know what's going on. So get in there, play that, get it done. And pretty much any other site you're on, we'll have Prize Picks, whatever it is, use Alarm, because we probably have a promo code there. So I know we do a lot of Underdog stuff here, but we're affiliated with so many different sites. Yahoo, like if you want to do Yahoo DFS, promo code Alarm, like any of those sites, throw it in there. You'll probably save some money. So start doing it. Bed Bath and Beyond, Alarm, throw it in there. You go to the Cheesecake Factory and you're at the end of you write your little on the bill. You just write Alarm on there. Just, it's worth trying, So definitely start throwing those out there, guys.
I love it.
100%.
Kev has not been listening for the last 2 full minutes of what I was talking about there. He's like, "Yeah, absolutely, dude."
That is not true. Alarm and cheese. I did the Shaka. You got like, come on, you gotta give a call.
All right, that's fair.
Our email is at the bottom of the Lightning Round YouTube channel for all business inquiries. I'm not cool enough on Twitter yet to be able to put that into my bio yet. Maybe sometime soon, but other than that, yeah. So I mean, I do like our squad here. We went 2 quarterbacks, 5 running backs, 8 wide receivers, 3 tight ends. I don't know. I think with the 3rd tight end, I think it was on that borderline. I'm fine either way with getting a 3rd tight end, because I think we got our 2nd a bit higher than usual, but not against getting Brevin Jordan there.
Yeah, I looked at with the wide receivers that were there. I mean, is just as dicey. You might as well, like, whether we took Nico Collins or Brevin Jordan, I don't think there's that big of a difference in those 2 players, and one of them's eligible at tight end, one's at wide receiver. So if we had 3 tight ends at the time, then I would have been cool taking Nico Collins. It's just with this build, we go that way. So sometimes you got to think of it that way, and the ideal roster compositions.
Yep. I will not say absolutely, because I don't want to make you think like I'm not listening, but I absolutely do say that with Erin all the time. And then she asked me the same thing, like, were you listening to anything I said? I'm like, absolutely. Yeah.
I did that earlier on this pod, so I can't blame you.
That is true. I am listening. I would not do my best friends like that.
Well, you're too sweet, dude. And you guys are all our best friends out there. So if you want to be even better best friends, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and then we can all hang out more often,
Yeah. Like if you're in Canton for the Fantasy Football Expo,
I'll be there at the Lightning House.
The Lightning House.
We need
It's gonna be so good.
It's going to be.
Maybe I'll make a flag to hang on the front porch while we're there.
Do it.
I love arts and crafts.
Yeah, you make them for those festivals you go to. You could rustle something up for us, right?
I think so. I'll look in my inventory and see what I've got material wise.
Perfect.
Oh my God, it's just going to be one big frat house.
Mm-hmm. Good stuff. All right, guys.
That brings it back. All right. Well, we are going to be out of here. We will be back next week with Action Network Samantha Praviti. We will be talking about obviously some more fantasy football goodness. So be sure to check in next week, next Wednesday. Of course, same bad time, same bad channel. 8:30 Central, 9:30 Eastern. For Britt, for Coop, I'm Kevin Tompkins, and whoever wants to say the magic word,